Is Toriko the next big hit, and will it be a part of the big three? Alright, so I've been requested for a long time now to talk about Toriko, and I think now is the time. I'm going to give my first impressions, as well as talk a little bit about my thoughts on Toriko as far as being a part of the big three and being, you know, a big hit. For the most part, I think I'm just about at the end of the Century Soup arc. Alright, so let's start talking about the things that I like about Toriko thus far. The main character, Toriko himself, is definitely one of my favorite things about the series, opposed to many other shonen where the main character and most of the main characters are anywhere from like 16 to like 12. Toriko is actually a grown man. He's like 25, 26 years old. So that's a plus right there. It's like, you know, we actually have an adult main shonen hero, which hasn't been done in a very long time. It's like, when's the last time we had an adult, you know, be a main shonen hero, and it's actually a big series? Dragon Ball Z, we had Goku, and that was after a time skip. So, you know, it's been a while since we've had our main shonen hero be an adult, and Toriko himself is just cool. He's badass. His two techniques that he fights with, knife and fork, he uses those craps crazily, and it just looks pretty cool. You know, Toriko himself is a cool dude. I like seeing him in action. He came pre-packaged. He's similar to like Luffy or even a Goku in a way, is that he came with character development already, and he still gets character development throughout the series. Like, you notice a change and a growth, and he keeps on growing, getting stronger, and, you know, a bunch of different things. But he also came already like with a name. He came as one of the four kings. He came, you know, just already strong and with a reputation. So I like that as well. He didn't come as a wimp. He didn't come as a nobody. He came already with a name. So that's good as well. Another thing I like about Toriko is the vast world and the endless possibilities of it, because Toriko's world is basically like this world that everyone loves food, and there's just this whole big thing within the, you know, the world of Toriko is the gourmet age, and everyone, you know, there's just so many possibilities and so many beasts. You know, he fights a lot of beasts and whatnot. One of the things I like about Toriko also is when he fights opponents and foes. You know, he just looks badass when he's doing it, especially when he's fighting humans. When he's fighting beasts and, you know, animals, it's kind of cool, but I more so like it when he's fighting actual humans, because that's where Toriko really lets loose, and he doesn't like it when, you know, humans really go overboard. That really pisses him off, and that's pretty cool. A couple other characters that I like are Coco and Sunny. They both are pretty cool. Coco looks kind of cool. Character design is cool, and he's a pretty chilled character. And Sunny, he's pretty hilarious. And, you know, they both have wacky designs. That's another thing I like about Toriko, is it kind of reminds me of One Piece with wacky designs for, you know, the beasts and some of the main characters. They just look kind of cool. And overall, just Toriko has a nice design to it. Alright, so let's talk about a couple of things that I don't like about Toriko necessarily. An anime-only thing. And I think most people will agree with me that Tina from the anime is the most annoying character. I want to slap her. I want Toriko to knife her. Like, Tina, for me, is just like, why is she there? She should not be there. She's filler. She ruins a lot of great scenes. And just, Tina, I want to strangle her. I cannot stand that character. She is just annoying and ruins Toriko. Is like, she ruins the anime a lot of time. Now, Komatsu, believe it or not, he looks like he's maybe 12 or 13 years old. He's a chef. He follows Toriko around, but he's actually the same age as Toriko, which shocked the hell out of me. And for the most part, Komatsu looks like more so fan service on the side of for little kids. It looks like a gateway to allow little kids to feel like they could be a part of Toriko and whatnot, because every other character in Toriko is mostly adults. It's like they're all in their 20s and you know, they all look it, but Komatsu looks like he's 13 or 14, even though he's actually Toriko's age. He plays a sort of role, and it almost looks as though he's written that particular way. From what I've seen thus far, he seems okay. He doesn't seem as bad as when he first starts off, because when I first saw the character, he really annoyed me, but as the story progresses, you start to see he's a little more useful than he first appeared, and he just seems alright, but I still don't really care for the character too much. I wish, you know, if Toriko had a sidekick, it would be somebody more cool and more badass, and that's just my opinion on Komatsu. I don't really like Komatsu, Tina, and another thing that hinders Toriko itself, the series, the concept of it, and that's food, because there's some people that they think it's cool, you know, oh man, that food looks great, I wish I could try some of that stuff, and you know, that's cool, but on the other half, people do not like the concept, and they just think it's bland and boring. I mean, for a lot of people, if you look at it plain and simple and they hear about it, oh, so it's about food, because Toriko's premise is basically he wants to make a menu and make like one of the best menus he can make and put together his gourmet menu, and that's really his dream, you know, and his goal in the series. And a lot of people might find that bland and boring, and to an extent, it's not the most exciting goal. It's not the most, you know, Pirate King or Hokage or... wait, what is Ichigo's goal again? But, you know, he doesn't really have that exciting goal that really drives you to really just like, oh man, I can't wait to see Toriko. It's just really a menu, and while food is great and everything, you can only enjoy it to an extent. And sometimes they really exaggerate with how much they're going crazy over the food. It's like, oh my gosh, sometimes the way they react to the food is like if they just saw a big-breasted woman walk in the door. It's like, it's food. But you know, the world of Toriko is what makes the food interesting, because it's like capture levels and all this craziness of what could possibly be out there when he goes out into the you know, the wild, and all the craziness is what makes the food more interesting for me, and that's what makes me kind of enjoy the premise more than the average person. Because I guess the best way to enjoy Toriko or get into Toriko is to watch it yourself and don't go on a recommendation, because if you just hear about it, you probably are just going to be like, and you're not really too sure, because the premise doesn't really sound that exciting until you watch it and understand that it's pretty cool to see, you know, Toriko on his adventures. Now, overall excitement around Toriko, I definitely would have to say, as far as like, you know, popularity and being big, in Japan it's already huge. Toriko is pretty much a part of the big three with One Piece and Naruto in Japan. It's just that's what it is. It's one of the most popular animes in Japan, always in the top 10, and the manga sells very well as well. So, you know, Toriko in Japan is already set. As far as worldwide and the United States, the anime is just about to arrive over here in January, and, you know, it's just about to make its debut. Will it be a part of the big three? Here's a couple of things that hinder it. One, Toriko's outfit, and as shallow as it may seem, and you know, as much as we know what it is, it's homage mostly, and that's Shonen Jump's favorite colors to use on the characters. Toriko's costume looks very similar to Goku, and I've talked to people and they say that's one of the problems they have with the series, and they haven't even watched it. And it does kind of sound ignorant, you know, you don't want to watch it because his clothes look like another character, but that is a hindrance nonetheless. It's, you know, people are like, oh, those clothes, I can't stand it, he looks too much like Goku, he has blue hair, he's like a Goku ripoff. You know, that's some of the things I've heard, and you know, it sounds ignorant, but that's what people think. So, you know, that's one hindrance. Another hindrance, again, like I said, is the premise of food. People just don't want to hear about food and don't want to watch a dude go after food. And I understand that to an extent. Until you watch it, then you'll probably enjoy it. And my stance as far as it being a part of the big three, I think in order for it to be a part of the big three, one of the big three will have to end, as far as, you know, the United States goes and maybe the UK. For Toriko to be up there, I definitely say one of the big three that is big now, as far as Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. When one of them end, Toriko can probably enter there, but I don't definitely foresee Toriko in the US, United Kingdom, and other parts aside from Japan overtaking Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, because it just doesn't have that craziness to drive you in immediately, because it doesn't start off crazy. It starts to get crazy after a while, but it doesn't start off crazy. And the premise and the Goku thing, a lot of those things hinder it from becoming big three. Me personally, I enjoy it. I think it's alright. It's not one of my favorites, to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of other shonens that I enjoy more, but it's pretty good, and I just like kicking back and watching it, aside from Tina that I want to strangle. So my answer in a short, will it become big three as far as replacing Naruto, One Piece, Bleach? No. Will it eventually become big three when one of them end? More than likely, because right now Bleach is on fire with its new arc. Even though a lot of people doubted it, its new arc has really regained a lot of interest for people outside of Japan. For some reason, Japan just don't care about Bleach anymore, but outside of Japan, for the most part, Toriko really couldn't overtake Bleach, and Naruto just is ridiculous outside of Japan. It's, you know, one of the most popular, so Naruto definitely wouldn't be over, you know, placed. And One Piece is One Piece. I'm not even going to get into that. One Piece will not be replaced by Toriko ever, period. So that's my thoughts on the whole thing with Toriko. I enjoy it. I think it's good. Do I think it's better than some of the big three? It's really hard to say, because for the most part, I'm not even that far in Toriko. I'm about 30 so episodes, and it's okay, but it's nothing like that's driving me crazy at the moment. So I really need to see more, and you know, if I do catch up eventually and I really enjoy it, then maybe I'll consider giving reviews, because I know a lot of people have requested as well. They want to see me do Toriko chapter reviews or even episode reviews. I doubt I'll do episode reviews for a long time, but maybe some manga reviews in the future if I catch up and I'm really loving it. But so far, there you go. That's my thoughts on it. It's okay. It's good. I enjoy it. I don't think it'll replace any of the big three series, but when one of them end, I think Toriko will, enter that slot, as well as Fairy Tail when one of the big three end. Let me know what you think, though. Is Toriko going to be a part of the big three in the near future? Do you see it replacing Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece? Outside of Japan, do you see Toriko overtaking one of them in popularity and just people going crazy over the story and, fandom? Comment section below, video responses. Is Toriko gonna be the next big three? But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Toriko because it's a pretty kick-ass series. And who doesn't love food? I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.